Alright, this is a rod building alteration instructional I'll do here. I've fallen in love with these Winn grips, and I'm building a pseudo switch rod, 10'7" weight, and I really like the Winn grips. And as you can see, the 10.5" Winn grip there, it is about the shape of a switch rod grip. So to go with the color scheme I'm dealing with, I ordered it in black, and I ordered also on this rod is going to be just the skeleton of a diamond braid reel seat, and then the blank will be exposed underneath, and I want to do something brown trouty on it. Anyway, this has an up-locking hood. It's made for an inletted grip. So I ordered this, and I made some alterations here. Let me show you what I've done here. First thing I did was cut the tenons off. Don't need those. So I cut them off of both ends of my 10.5" grip. Then I took my old trusty scalpel and a dental pick, and see if I can get where you can see this. I just inletted that, and I did that using a scalpel and a dental pick, and I used the reel seat and I pushed it on there to where it made an indentation of where it would be. I took the scalpel and cut around the inside and outside edge, and then took my dental pick and picked it out. Then I took a chainsaw chain file and used it down on the inside like so, and just went around and round and reamed it out. So anyway, if you love Winn grips like me and are looking for something for this application, which, to be quite frank with you, it really fits in your hand. It's not much different than any other full wells Flyrod grip that you'd buy. I do not foresee any problems being able to take my long fighting butt that I'm making, taking it off, because it's made with a removable butt cap, or fighting butt. I can now also, this will be used whenever I'm floating or whenever I'm fishing the big browns and salmon and steelhead of the lakes. I'll use it in this configuration because it allows me to, this fighting butt will sit right in my belly. My hand will sit right here on the reel seat, and it will give my arm, it's just a really good position. You can float a dead drift to float all day long and your arm not get tired. But anyway, I can remove this reel seat, or the fighting butt, and put a regular 2.5" fighting butt on it, and now I have a 10'7" bass rod. And like I said, I do not foresee any problems with this 10.5" grip, just regular casting on a fly rod. So anyway, there it is. We've taken this grip, which is for the back end of a spin rod, removed the tenons. On the front end, I made a little bit of a mess, but I was really surprised with how I was able to clean it up. Where I had to cut it off, it scarred it up a little bit. Something about these Winn grips, you can heat this up, heat the front of it up, and push down, and it pretty much took away all the scars. I'll be able to hide everything else with a nice winding check. So anyway, just so you know, Winn grips, you can use spin rod grips, you know, because there's also I think this is a 7.5 or an 8.5 inch you can use, which after all you do is cut the tenons off. If you have an up-locking reel seat, one that's inletted that goes up inside of, one second, that goes up inside of your grip, it just takes a little bit of time. I'm sure that you could use a lathe or something like that. I've got some power tools, but I figured if I was doing this by hand, my results would be so much better. Wouldn't have to worry about any slips. And as you can see, I'm pretty impressed with that, to be doing that by hand. Fits in there really nice. It's not so tight that it bulges on the edge from the inletted part of the reel seat going up inside the grip. It doesn't really bulge. And like I said, I used a scalpel, a dental pick, and a small chainsaw chain file. One little last thing, if you're going to do this, the diamond braided reel seat, the inside diameter is too small to accommodate the removable fighting butt adapter that you can buy. And it should be right here somewhere close. Anyway, it's originally way too small, or way too big to go up inside of, here we are. These are the removable fighting butt inserts, which I put removable fighting butts on everything. Remember I was saying I could remove the 6.5 inch custom made butt or fighting butt that I made. I can take it off, and now I can put on any removable 2.5 inch fighting butt, put in the system, and now I've went from a primarily floating setup with this fighting butt to now I'm bass and even trout fishing, streamer fishing with the 2.5 inch. But anyway, the insert is too small, or is too large, to go into the inside diameter of the reel seat. So all I did was just took a file, masking taped off the outside edge there so I didn't chip off any paint. Was able to file down the outside of this section here. So it would fit up inside. Well, it goes right in. And I'll take a little bit of paint where you see the silver here on the back side. I'll take some paint and just touch that up a little bit. Not that it would anybody would ever see it, but anyway, there you go. There's your long video. Hopefully you learned something. But hey, listen, if you've never tried one of these dudes right here on a rod, do yourself a favor and get one. You will never, ever, ever regret it. I've made several on split grips. Actually, I've got one spinning right now. The Winns, 1 3/4 on both sides. And I like the big fighting butt. I'm not a real big fan of the smaller fighting butt. I made a rod with the smaller fighting butt. It just seems, I like something that on that fighting butt, on the bottom of that rod, which is going to take a lot of beating, I like something substantial there, and this just wasn't substantial enough. I'd really like to see something in between the two, or beef up the smaller version, because unless you're building a really small ultralight, this is really, in my opinion, it's useless. It just doesn't provide enough protection, especially when you're doing a split grip, because you know you've already got this exposed. which whenever I'm building the rod, I'll probably end up applying 4 coats of medium build epoxy to this section, just for a lot of times. I also put a wrap. This customer didn't want a wrap, so we just went with the trim bands and no wrap. But anyway, great grips. I've also made a spinning steelhead brown trout rod using these two. Made some musky rods using these two. I just really hate to build a rod with anything else. These things are amazing grips. So anyway, there's the little YouTube video. Don't be afraid to try things like this if you're building rods. You'll sometimes surprise yourself with the things you can come up with. So.